Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jivedoya Kori Svarparsada Swiyadham Savatari Atyanta Dolabha Prema Kori Varidhana Shikaya Sharana Gati Pakatera Prana Dainya Atma Nivedana Kopchitve Varana Arachara Shive Krishna Vishwasapalana Bhakti Anukula Matra Kare Shrikara Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Vajanangikara Saranga Saranagati Hoi Bejara Tara Pratana Sune Shinanda Kumara Sana Pade Dante Chinakoi Bhakati Vinora Pade Tupadaroi Kariya Kariya Bole Amito Adama Shikae Saranagati Oroe Utama Jaya Swalpasara Jaya Gaurahari Swalpasara Jaya Gaurahari Jaya Swalpasara Jaya Gaurahari Swalpasara Jaya Gauranga and Nityananda. Akadasi Shri Hari Visari Shri Hari Vasari Hari Kirtana Vidhana Nityaramila Prabhu Jagatera Prana Punyavanta Shiva Sangha Nashuram Rambha Utilo Kirtana Dvani Gopal Govinda Mridanga Mandira Bhaje Shankaratara Sankirtana Sangye Sava Oilo Masa Bhamanda Durilo Dhvani Pariyakasha Sharike Amanga Jai Savanasasa Usakala Hoite Nritya Kare Vishambara Juta Juta Hoilo Yato Kayana Sundara Shivasa Pandita Loya Eka Sampradaya Mukunda Loya Janakatago Loya Govinda Gosha Arkato Jana Gaura Chandra Nitya Save Karina Kitana Turiya Bulena Nitya Nanda Mahabali Alakshite Dvaita Layen Apadaduli Gadadadari Yato Sajalanayani Anande Vivala Oiro Ayakitani Chakana Tandanache Prabhu Vishwamba Prithvi Kampita Hoya Sabe Payara Tena Nava Madonna Jai Vishwambara Yeno Deki Nanderanan Tananatavara Aparupa Krishna Vesha Aparudayeta Anande Nayana Bori Teke Savaveta Nijanande Nache Vishwan Prabhu Vishwambara Charane Tala Sune Ati Manohara Baba Varemanai Rahaye Gira Shiliya Paraye Gira Pakatera Haya Chaturike Shriariman Kala Sankirtane Majinache Jaganadya Nishinananda Chadanamananda Shiva Vasanana Jani Chadajase Nache Shiva Senache Apani Chadaname Valmiki Hoila Tapodana Chadaname Ajamila Puilo Mochana Chadanama Shavani Samsara Banda Guche Eno Prabhu Avatara Kali Yuga Nache Chadanama Gai Sukanara Debudai Sahasa Vandana Prabhu Jada Gune Gai Sarva Mahapraya Chitta Jai Prabhu Yanam Se Prabhu Nachai Deko Jato Bhagwavan Prabhu Rananda Deki Bhagavata Gana Anyane Galadorika Roy Krandana Sabara Angite Sope Shri Chandana Mala Anande Gayena Krishna Rase Hoila Bola Gatete Vaishnava Sabha Kirtana Vesha Tenene Apena Deha Anya Jana Kesha Jaya Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali Arnisha Gai Save Hoi Kutuat Arnisha Bhakti Sangha Nache Vishwambara Shanti Nahi Karo Save Sattva Kalevara E Mata Nache Mahaprabhur Vishwambara Nishi Avashesha Macha Se Eka Prahara E Mata Ananda E Navadvip Pore Prema Rase Vaikuntera Nayaka Vihare E Sakala Punya Kata Jekare Shavana Bhakta Sange Gaura Chandrahita Ramana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Charajana Vrindavana Vasita Chirana Jaya Sachinanda Jaya Gaurari Sachinanda Jaya Gaurari Jaya Sachinanda Jaya Gaurari Sachinanda Jaya Gaurari Jaya Ekadasi Jaya Madhav Titi Ekadasi Jaya Madhav Titi Jaya Ekadasi Jaya Titi Ekadasi Jaya Anitai Gaur Haribo 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo Nitai Gaur Haribo 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Krishna told me in my heart that 99.9 of the devotees here don't know what this means.
So we're going to read it. Anikadasi, after decreeing Hari Kirtan, Mahaprabhu, who is the life and soul of the universe, begins to dance in ecstasy. In the courtyard of the virtuous Srivas, the auspicious sounds of Kirtan, Gopala, Govinda, reverberates loudly. The sounds of the mridanga, mandira, small cup-shaped cymbals, conch and kartal, all blend nicely with the Sankirtan. The thunderous sound penetrates the universe, filling the whole sky. Everything inauspicious in all four directions is annihilated. At dawn, Vishrambar dances while the kirtan groups formed sing charmingly. One group is with Srivas Pandit, and many others sing with Mukunda Dutt. There are many more with Govinda Ghosh. As Gaurachandra dances, everyone performs kirtan. The mighty Nityananda Prabhu holds on to Mahaprabhu and gently strokes him, while Advaita Acharya secretly takes his foot dust. Their eyes brimming with tears, Gadadhar and others become overwhelmed in transcendental happiness due to Mahaprabhu's kirtan. When Vishrambar dances with great force, the earth trembles and everyone becomes afraid. Sometimes Vishrambar dances so sweetly that he appears to be the son of Nanda, the best of dancers. Their eyes filled with joy, Mahaprabhu's servants observe his unprecedented love for Sri Krishna and his incomparably beautiful dancing. Mahaprabhu Vishrambar dances, rejoicing in his own transcendental happiness. The rhythmic sound of his lotus feet is extremely captivating. Under the weight of his ecstatic emotions, his garland is unable to remain around his neck. Breaking apart, it falls at the feet of the devotees. The auspiciousness of Shri Harinam Sankirtan spreads in all four directions, as the son of Jagannath Mishra dances in the midst of the devotees. Absorbed in the bliss of Shri Hari's name, Shiva becomes oblivious to his own clothing. He whose glories impel Shiva to dance in ecstasy also dances himself. By his name, Valmiki achieved the wealth of austerity, and by his name, Ajamil received deliverance. By hearing his name, the bindings of the material world are destroyed. That Lord, having descended, dances in the age of Kali. His name is chanted by Shukadev and Narada as they wander about. His glories are sung by the Lord of innumerable mouths, Sri Anantadev. His name constitutes the highest form of atonement. That Lord dances while those who are supremely fortunate look on. Seeing Mahaprabhu's transcendental bliss, the associates of the Lord embrace each other and weep. Sandal paste and garlands grace everyone's bodies. They sing in great bliss, forgetting their own selves due to immersion in Krishna Ras. Entranced in Kirtan, all the Vaishnavas lose complete sense of their own bodies and of everything and everyone around them. Delighted, everyone sings day and night, Jai Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali. Day and night, Vishrambar dances with the devotees, but they never become fatigued because their bodies are fully transcendental. In such a manner, Mahaprabhu Vishrambar dances the entire night except for one prahar, during which he sleeps. In this way, transcendental happiness arises in the land of Navadvip, as the hero of Vaikuntha sports in Prem Ras. Gaurachandra and his associates remain in the hearts of those who hear this entire auspicious description. Vrindavan Das offers this song at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya and the moon-like Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai.
316. There's two Akadasa songs. This is the second one.
You want to do this one, Vasanti?
Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu Bhajananukula.
Shuddha Bhakata Charanarenu
Bhakata Seva Paramasiri Prema Latikaramula. Karamula Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani Chatane Pagana Kori.
Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani Chatane Pagana
Kori. Krishna Vasati Vasati Boli Paramadare Bori.
Krishna Vasati Vasati Boli Paramadare Bori.
Gora Amar Jai Savastane Karala Brahmana Range. Se Sabastana Heri Voami Pranai Bhakata Sange.
Se Sabastana Heri Voami Pranai Bhakata
Sange. Mridanga Vadya Shunite Man Avasara Sarajache. Gora Vihita Kirtana Shuni Anande Hirdoya Nache.
Gora Vihita Kirtana Shuni Anande Hirdoya Nache. Yugala Murti Tekiya Mora Paramananda Hoya. Yugala Murti Tekiya Mora Paramananda Hoya. Prashara Seva Korite Hoya Sakala Prapancha Jaya. Prasada Seva Korite Hoya Sakala Prapancha Jaya. Jaitina Grihe Bhajana Deki Grihe Te Golokabaya. Jaitina Grihe Bhajana Deki Grihe Te Golokabaya. Charana Sindhu Jakiya Ganga Sukana Simapaya. Charana Sindhu Jakiya Ganga Sukana Simapaya. Tulasi Deki Judaya Pran Madhavato Shani Jani. Tulasi Deki Judaya Pran Madhavato
shaka sevane jivana shatakamani. Bhakati Vino Krishna Bhajane Anukula Payaja. Bhakati Vino Krishna Bhajane Anukula Payaja. Prati Divase Paramasuke Swikara Koro Yeta. Prati Divase Paramasuke Swikara Koro Yeta. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Bhakata Seva Paramasiri Prema Lati Karamula. Bhakata Seva Paramasiri Prema Lati Karamula. Jaya Madhav Titi Jaya Ekadasi Madhav Titi Jaya Ekadasi. Madhav Titi Jaya Ekadasi. Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod, Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod, Thakur Bhakti Vinod. Dust from the lotus feet of the pure devotees is most favorable for bhajan. Service to the pure devotees is the highest perfection and the very root of the vine of prem. I carefully observe Madhava's holy days, such as Ekadasi and Janmashtami, for they are the mother of devotion. Knowing that Krishna dwells in these holy days, with great regard, I also accept them as my residence. In the company of devotees who have transcendental love, I will behold all the places where my Gaur joyfully wandered. My heart always prays for the opportunity to hear the mridanga play. Upon hearing a kirtan glorifying Shri Gaur, my heart dances in joy. Upon seeing the deity forms of the divine couple, I feel the highest bliss. Honoring their prasad enables one to conquer the material world of 5 elements. My home is transformed into Goloka Vrindavan when I see bhajan of Shri Radha and Krishna being performed there. When I look upon the Ganga, which is the nectar emanating from the Lord's feet, my happiness knows no bounds. Upon seeing Tulsi, my heart becomes satisfied because I know that she pleases Madhava. When I honor Shak, a variety of greens, which is very dear to Gaur, I consider my life successful. Whatever he finds favorable for Krishna Bhajan, Bhakti Vinod accepts every day with the greatest happiness. Jai.
Where do you live?
Ekadasi.
You live in Ekadasi.
I live in Ekadasi.
$173. দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন। দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন। নাচ রে আমার মন বলে নাচ রে আমার মন। ও ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন এমন দয়াল তো নাহি হে এমন দয়াল তো নাহি হে মাকে প্রেমে এমন দয়াল তো নাহি হে আমার অপরাধ ডুবে যাবে পাবে প্রেমাদান ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন Chant the holy names of the munificent Nitai and Chaitanya and dance. My dear mind dance, all mind just dance. There is no one as merciful as Nitai, for despite being beaten, he bestowed prem. By chanting their names, your offenses will go far away and you will obtain the treasure of prem. O name aparada vichar to nahi hai. O name aparada vichar to nahi hai. Tako Krishna name ruchi habe guchi bevandan. ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন There is no consideration of offenses in chanting their holy names. Then you will develop a taste for Krishna now, and your bondage to material existence will be destroyed. Krishna name anurakto habe Krishna name anurakto habe তখন অনায়াসে সফল হবে জীবের জীবন ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন You will develop deep attachment to Krishna Nam. Then automatically your life will become successful. Without attachment to Shri Krishna, this life is simply useless. Krishna rati bina jivan to niche hai. Sheshe Vrindavane Radha Shamer pabe darashan. Ama Gaur kripa hole hai. Ama Gaur kripa hole hai. ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন নাচ রে আমার মন বলে নাচ রে আমার মন ও দয়াল নিতাই চৈতন্য বলে নাচ রে আমার মন Jaya Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. Gaura Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Page. You know what? We could do 117, or I guess. No, we need to do Krishna first, right? Okay. Page is that one. It's on page 137. Sorry, I can't think of the name of it. I'm going to know it in a moment. Yeah. Is that an okay one? Okay. Bhaja Hure Mana, page 137. Bhajahure Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Bhajahure Mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Durlabhamanava Janama Sat Sange Taraho e Baba Sindhure Shita Atapa Vata Barishana Edina Jamini Jagire Vibale Sevinu Kripana Durajana Vipale Sevinu Kripana Durajana Chapala Sukha Lava Lagire Edana Yovana Putra Parijana Iteki Achipara Titire Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Taramala Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Taramala Brajahu Hari Pada Nitire Shavana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakya Jana Atmani Vedana Putrana Sakya Jana Atmani Vedana Pujana Sakya Jana Atmani Vedana Govinda Dasabi Lashare Bajahure Mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Durlabhamana Janama Satsange Durlabhamana Janama Satsange Dadaho e Baba Sindure Jaya Nanda Nandan Jaya Yasoda Nandan Nanda Nandan Jaya Yasoda Nandan O mind, worship the lotus feet of Sri Nandanandana, which brings fearlessness. This human birth is very rare. So take the association of saintly persons and cross over this ocean of material existence. Suffering the pains of the cold, heat, wind, and rain, I remain sleepless day and night. I have uselessly served miserly and wicked men for a fraction of momentary happiness. Wealth, youth, sons, and relatives, what assurance do they hold? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. So always serve and worship the lotus feet of Sri Hari. Hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, serving his lotus feet, engaging as a servant, worshiping, serving him as a friend, and completely offering him one's very self. These 9 limbs of bhakti are Govinda Dasa's cherished aspiration. Are you suggesting we sing that tonight, or we sing it
When we get to Shraddha.
today? Okay.
Actually, every place we go, there. I mean, I can try and.
123. Radha Krishna Pranamore, is that good for now?
Just Shraddha, isn't there one? Oh, man.
Oh, you know one? I'm still working on that. Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishora Jivane Marane Gati Aranahi Mora Radha Krishna Pranamora Jugala Kishora Jivane Marane Gati Aronahi Mora Kalindira Kule Keli Kadambera Vana Ratnana Vedira Upar Koshabodujana Kalindira Kule Keli Kadambera Vana Ratnana Vedira Upar Koshabodujana Shamagori Ange Dibochua Chandanera Ganda Chamaradula Bokabe Heribo Mukha Chandra Shamagori Ange Dibochua Chandanera Ganda Chamadulavo Kabe Ediva Mukha Chandra Katiya Mala Tira Mala Divo Dohar Gale Adare Tulio Divo Karpura Tambule Katiya Malatira Ma Tibodo Hagale Adare Tulio Divo Karpura Tule Lalita Vishakari Jato Saki Brinda Agnaya Koribo Seva Charana Ravinda Abhishakari Jato Saki Brinda Agnaya Koribo Seva Naravinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranudasa Seva Bilasa Kore Narottamodasa Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasaranudasa Shiva Vilasa Kore Narottamodasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Nitai Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gora, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Gora, Hari Bol, Jaya Jaya, Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Jnanam timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tudalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktai Tadavaktaya Namo Namah. Yam Pravarjantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahagataruajuhava Putri Ditam Mata Taravo Benedos Tam Sarv Yamuni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vina Dalakshay Chaktasya Kamadi Tarangamadi Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Najivami Tamvina Tamnaimam Charanantike Kripayati Yadurada Padidasha Shabada Kimaparavashishtam Pushti Maya Deyorme Yadivadati Chakinship Smeraha Suditasri Tujavaramani Bhaktya Mukti Shaktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Shikhanda Shekhar Smeraha Samurali Manohara Radhika Rasikaman Kripanite Swapriya Charana Kinkari Prananata Vishivani Nandini Srimagabjara Sadapada Radhika Paradali Kritastiti Tam Vajami Rasikandra Shekhar Samvadaya Dashane Trinam Viva Pradaya Vajamahendra Nandana Astu Mohanta Viti Bhavana Janma Janmane Mari Priya First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev. Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Astol Trisat Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of our most beloved Shiksha Gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Shishimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. To our grandfather Gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj and Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. To all of his divine associates and to all the assembled devotees, and to the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Madhav Maharaj, Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Ban Maharaj, and Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. And we are so fortunate. We never went back to Miami yet. We'll be going in a few days. We are now in Godrum Dweep. We took a boat from Samantadweep to Godrum Dweep. And here we are. This place is also called Gadi Gachcha and many other names. And it goes all the way from this place where we are now, that is Surabhi Kunj, all the way over to Nishringapali or Devapali, where we'll be going to last. And I'm going to be calling on Garagaja Prabhu to speak about the glories of Surabhi Kunj. Right? No, you already said that you were going to do that, so I said, can you add? Because you did already study it. And he's going to be taking the pillow of honor. And he'll be shown all over the world on SVA TV.
Ajnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. First of all, I'm offering unlimited Dandavat Pranams in the dust of the lotus feet of my worshipful Diksha Guru Devi. Om Vishnu Parasto to the Sat Shishimati Shamrani Didi. Similarly to my Param Guru Devs, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Parasto to the Sat Shishimat Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Similarly to Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Parasto to the Sat Shishimat Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And to the entire Rupa Nuga Guru Varga and all assembled devotees. Hare Krishna Dhanavad. Hare Bol. So first and foremost, I'm falling unconscious and rolling around in the dust of Sri Godrum Dweep, hoping to get Bhaktivinoda Thakur's mercy and all the Vaishnavas. Srila Gurudev explains that Godrum refers to two words. Go means a cow, and Druma refers to an ancient banyan tree. So during Krishna's Leela, we know the story that Krishna's father Nanda Baba had a family ritual of worshiping Lord Indra, the rain of God, to get plentiful water for their crops. But Krishna, being very intelligent, approached Nanda Baba and told him, Father, why are we worshiping the Lord of Rain when rain just comes of its own accord? The ocean gets rained on and it's not doing any puja. Similarly, the stones are getting rain on, but they're not doing any worship. Better we should worship Sri Govardhan. Govardhan provides beautiful fruits and roots and grasses for all of our cows, and we live on Govardhan. He said, oh yeah, that's a nice idea. So we know then they put together the Anakut festival, and everyone was so blissful and ecstatic except for Indra. Indra was frustrated, and he sent some Vartak clouds, like columns of rain coming down, and they took shelter of Krishna, and he lifted Giriraj Govardhan on his pinky finger. And so after this situation, once Krishna crushed the pride of Indra, Indra was feeling remorseful, regretful that, who am I, what have I done? Similar to how we were hearing about how Lord Brahma was feeling similar after that. And he wanted to do some atonement. And so he went with Surabhi to this place, Sri Godrumdvip, before Mahaprabhu's pastimes were manifest. And here he was offering prayers and lamenting and hoping to evoke his mercy. And so a long time passed, and finally Sri Gaurachandra appeared to him. I understand your heart. After some time, I will appear in Sri Navadvip and distribute the chanting of my holy name, along with pure love for Sri Krishna to the general people. At that time, you will assist me in my pastimes. When the Lord disappeared, Mother Surabhi made a hut under this banyan tree. So Indra left, but Surabhi, she stayed. Mm-hmm. So Mother Surabhi made a hut under this particular banyan tree that Indra and Surabhi were there. Indra left, Surabhi stayed, and then this place became known as Godruma. Go means cow, referring to Mother Surabhi, and Druma means a tree. So this is that place. And once during the time of cosmic devastation, Markandeya Rishi was he rested at this place, and during the devastation, the universe became flooded with water, and all of Earth was underwater. And it said that just Earth. The whole universe was underwater, and there was nowhere inhabitable or visible on the Earth being submerged. That's what I was saying this morning, that it's like this part is unfathomable to me. So regardless, the earth was submerged in water, and Markandeya was actually unconscious, floating in the waves of the devastation, the water. And somehow or other, this place of this island of Navadvip was left intact, and Surabhi was there, and she saw Markandeya Rishi suffering and floating unconscious, so she went and grabbed him and brought him to this place, and he awoke again to consciousness, and he was amazed that this beautiful island is existing here. I don't know.
How do we adjust it so that there's no screech? All right. All right.
So Gurudev gives a nice description actually when he comes to, he says, he was amazed to see that Navadvip was not under the water. The sight of the beautiful forest and subforest filled with trees, plants, birds, and animals of the 32-mile large Dham greatly pleased him. Mother Surabhi gave him her nectarian milk to drink, which fully rejuvenated him. Special. She then instructed him to remain at Godrum. I think she just gave it to him. Oh, no, sorry.
Hungry. You know, I don't know why I was stupid enough to ask for this benediction that I could live for 7 kalpas, which means 7 days of Brahma. And in between each day, there's a devastation. I have to float and go under in this very dangerous water of devastation where there's crocodiles and alligators and all kinds of ferocious sea monsters. And I'm so hungry. Could you please give me your milk to drink?
Great. So after she gave him the milk, she instructed him about the glories of Navadvip and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his mercy, and instructed him to do bhajan there. So he did some of the glories. She says, this Dham is transcendental and beyond material nature. It cannot be seen with material eyes. 8 of the islands of Navadvip are like the petals of a lotus. And Sridham Mayapur is like the pericarp of that lotus. Here in a secluded form, all of the holy places and the demigods worship Sri Gauranga. That's such an amazing thing that we're noticing, how all the demigods are coming in all these ways. Like last night we were hearing about the Satpraharya Leela. It said all the demons, or the demigods came disguised in humans to offer their different offerings to Mahaprabhu. She said, by worshipping him, one will attain service to Sri Radha Krishna and Braj with the sentiment of amorous love, Madhurya Bhav. And by worshipping Sri Gaurachandra, one becomes forever free from sins and miseries, as well as all kinds of fructified and unfructified fruitive activities, desire for sense enjoyment, and from ignorance. Thus, Markandeya decided this is a good place to do my bhajan. So this is a touch of.
Did you ever
glories of
wonder
Surabhi
how
come.
she happened to be a cow and at the same time build a hut, and at the same time drag Markandeya out of the water onto the shore?
I was wondering, yeah.
I asked Madhu Maharaj that, and he simply said, she's not an ordinary cow, so she can do anything. She can fulfill everyone's desires. She's Kamadhenu, fulfills all desires, and she could fulfill her own desires.
Great. So nearby this place is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's place of bhajan. Would you want to speak?
Depends if you, you mean I would go and then you would go later? We could do that. Or you can go. No,
You want me
we
to
have
skip
to go in
forward and
order.
then?
We have to go in order.
Okay.
So very nearby this place is Swananda Sukara Kunja. That is the residence of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And it didn't look exactly like this. When he first moved in, it was just a hut. But now when we go on parikrama, it's a pretty vast place. At that time, he had a hut in a grove. And then within the grove also lived Gorkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was a very close friend of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But now, of course, it's a very big house with 2 floors. And you can see his bed and his books, all of his paraphernalia in nice glass cases. So then Srila Gurudev simply glorifies him, that he is the 7th Goswami. After the 6 Goswamis, there was a gradual decline in presenting the philosophy as it is. And so he is the Bhagirati. You know, the Bhagirath, King Bhagirath, brought the Ganges, which his ancestors couldn't do, brought the Ganges to Navadvip and then finally to the place of Kapiladev's ashram to wash over the ashes of his dead ancestors who had died because of offense to Lord Kapiladev. And so he's called the Bhagirati because he's reviving the Ganges of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. He also started now we have the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and we have International Pure Bhakti Yoga Society, and other international organizations. So the first one, called Visva Vaishnava Raj Sabha, was started by Srila Rupa Goswami, of all the devotees in the world working together to spread Krishna consciousness, Mahaprabhu's mission. And he gave the presidency to Srila Jiva Goswami. And then it was reignited by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Same name, Visva Vaishnava. Visva means world. Vaishnava, the world's assembly of the world's Vaishnavas. Visva Vaishnava Raj. Not only Vaishnavas, but Vaishnava Raj, the king of the Vaishnavas, kings, the pure devotees. Like International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So Gurudev was saying, we are not actually members of that. The pure disciplic succession are members, and we are performing our activities so that we can become members. So same thing here. So he spread Gauranam, he spread Gauravani, the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranam, and Gauranam, Gauravani, and also Gauraseva, Shuddha Bhakti. So, therefore, he became known as the seventh Goswami. The Vaishnava assembly gave him that name, Sapta Goswami. And he preached a lot through his magazine, which is called Sajjana Toshini. And he also established Namahat all over. And even though he did all this, he wrote 100 books in different Indian languages. But still his main contribution was two. One in the form of his son, and he prayed to Krishna, please send someone from your own stock. So that was, of course, Srila Prabhupada. And the other one was to do the amazing work of establishing the appearance place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at that place, well, first he was in this very spot where we are now, in Godrum, his house. And from his house, he could see across the river. And you can see, this is his view. You can see across the river. Now you can see the ISKCON temple there, Prabhupada's Samadhi. But then there was nothing except a light, an amazing light that lit up in all directions. And then the next night, he saw the light again, but this time he saw the Panchatattva all dancing together. So he went to that place and inquired from the residents, and plus he saw, and they explained that even though they tried to plant different plants, vegetables, and so on. Only Tulsi would grow, and she would grow of her own accord. Nobody planted her. So he thought this is probably that place. So he studied government maps and reports, and he read ancient scriptures like Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhakti Ratnakara. Bhakti Ratnakara is full of the pastimes of Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He also established here, because his son, Bimala Prasad, he wasn't doing well anywhere. Like, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur sent him to the king of, I forget the name of the place. He was a friend of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and his son needed an education. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur sent his son to educate the king's son. But as fate would have it, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur couldn't teach anything besides bhakti. So he taught the son bhakti. At the same time, there was a library of all the Vedic scriptures which he read. And his son was becoming renounced. So the king's wife said, if you keep him on, I'm going to commit suicide. So please let him go. So the king said, told Bhaktivinoda Thakur, okay, I can't keep him, but I'll pay him the same salary. And they refused. Son and father refused. Said, so now what am I going to do with him? So he couldn't take the college. He thought they weren't teaching anything. He said, I haven't come here to count the stars in the sky and the sands on the earth. So he left after arguing with his teachers. So now he's establishing Mahaprabhu's birthplace. He established Panchatattva deities, and Jagannath is also here. But basically he established Panchatattva deities, and Mahaprabhu, and Lakshmi Priya, and Vishnu Priya. And as mentioned, many namhats. Nowadays, namhats are known for, you go to somebody's house and they invite their friends, and there's a kirtan and lecture, and then one of them has it at their house, and they invite all their friends. In this way, it expands. ISKCON, back in the 90s, ISKCON England had 500 namhats. We are a bit behind. Okay. Huh?
Can you speak just a little bit more about the importance of establishing, like why is it so important that you establish where Chaitanya was born? Especially to us as Slavics, like how does that affect us?
Well, there's Gaur Purnima, when we go to his appearance place, and we go to his other islands, but the main thing is his appearance place. Of the 8 petals, Antardvip, you remember from yesterday, is the pericarp. It's the main place, the source of all the other places. And then there's the dot in the middle of that, which is the yoga pit, his birthplace. And to go there to his birthplace and worship at his birthplace, and then understand his birth activities. It was a lunar eclipse. How could it be a full moon and a lunar eclipse? Somehow or other. And so there were millions of people at the Ganges chanting Hare Krishna, and that's when he appeared. And where he appeared, that we can go, everyone in the world can go to his birthplace and worship there. And then his childhood pastimes, which are all performed in the same neighborhood. And then from there, This is Advaita Bhavan, this is Shiva Sangam, and so on. All in relation to that, does that help? Not really. Wait, I want to know, is that okay or not? Not really? What's the big deal? Because that's because it's your mind. When you become a sadhak, you'll understand you. There's another school of thought, and that is the Sahajiya Babajis, who are against Gaudiya Math and against our line. And they say that his appearance place is on the west side of the Ganges, but it's actually on the east side in Mayapur. And they say it's in Navadvip, old Navadvip. So therefore it's important to establish what's right. Otherwise people go to the wrong place.
Didn't they establish that after Mayapur was established?
Didn't who establish what?
The Babajis established the alternate. Didn't they do that afterwards?
Not to my understanding. If you kind of look it up, yeah, that's why he was so, because there was always already the wrong thing. So therefore he studied very carefully. The Babajis, they won't even sit in the same line as real Gaudiya Vaishnavas to eat, to take prasadam. Okay, yes. So, hey, we didn't, you didn't tell everybody to weep and to roll. You said you were, but you didn't invite anybody else to, or put the dust of the place of Surabhi Kunj on our heads, on our tongues, on our eyelids, our heart. And then I also didn't invite anybody. So, yeah, at this place of, where are we now? Swananda Sukhada Kunj. We are also doing that at Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, at the Bhajan Kuti of Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and the paraphernalia of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is also here. And it's here where Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ordered, requested Srila Prabhupada to, because he's a astrologer, he said, so please make the Panjika, the calendar of all the important appearance and disappearance places, which we have until the present day. And Srila Gurudev was very, very strong about that there must be a calendar. And so his disciple, Kalimba Dasi, has been making it ever since Gurudev ordered her. And we have it here. Do you all have a calendar? Okay. So nice, even if sometimes it's a different day than India, but still you know it's coming and you know to check. All right, then we're going to, you haven't prepared Hari Hari, etc., have you?
I've read it.
Can you? Not
Particularly in depth.
okay. So then, if you want, we could both do it. So then we then we walk. Keep walking. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Now here we are at Suvarna Bihar. So at the right time, right now, we're going to fall unconscious, wake up, weep, stop weeping, put the dust of this place on our head, heart, tongue, and eyelids. So there was a king. And his name was Suvarna Sane. But he was kind of insane because he was, even in his old age, he was attached to material enjoyment. So as Haridas Prabhu was leading us in Bhaja Hare Mana and saying how I'm wasting my life associating with non-devotees, I'm what else? Serving wicked persons, this tottering just like the lotus leaf, no insurance for wife, sons. At the same time I was reading this, and Narada Muni was telling him the exact same thing that was in the song. It's very interesting. He said, so therefore, worship Krishna. Practice Shuddha Bhakti. Otherwise, is your family going to be there after you leave your body? You're leaving alone. You don't know where you're going. And you have so many sinful reactions to suffer. Impersonal liberation is also useless. Material life is useless. Impersonal liberation actually destroys the living entity. Becomes like a rock. No real consciousness. So don't desire that either. I want you to know that the jiva and you are eternally Krishna's servant. And if you want to be free from the threefold miseries, take to devotional service and come through the stages of Shraddha, Anartha Nivritti, Nistha, Asakti, Bhav, and finally Prem. And looking, where are you born? You're born in Navadvip. So you're not ordinary. And soon, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be coming. As Kali Yuga progresses, the source of all incarnations. So best if you worship him. So because of his power, Narada Muni's power, the king was actually changing. And then Narada Muni started dancing and singing, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari. And he started dancing in ecstatic love. In Jaiva Dharma also, there was this impersonal scholar who later on became a devotee, or soon became a devotee. And he was seeing the ecstatic dancing of Prem Das Babaji. And then he was immediately switched. All of his scholarship he threw out, and he became so touched. Similarly, Narada is now dancing in Gaur Prem. So after Narada left, the king had a dream. And he dreamt of Lord Chaitanya and his associates singing and dancing. And then when he woke up, he was already changed. He began to cry. And then there was a voice from the sky saying, don't be distressed, don't cry. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaking to him. In my manifest form, you will become my associate, Buddhimanta Khan. He helped Mahaprabhu in his marriage ceremony and in his journey to Puridham and many other ways he was assisting Mahaprabhu. So the power of the pure devotee is amazing. Okay, so this is where we are. Then this is where we are now, but this place was not there at the time that Narada came to the king. Now it's a Gaudiya Math, Suvarna Vihar Gaudiya Math. It's the temple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay. Would you like to try to do Harihara Chatra? Okay, so come back to your seat of honor. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Nitai Gaura Hare Bo,
Hare
Hare Bo, Hare Bo,
Nitai Gaura Hare Bo.
Nitai Gaura Hare Bo,
Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo.
That was a little longer kirtan because it's a very long walk, right, Vasanti? Very long walk, but here we are at Harihara Chatra.
I'm inviting everyone to fall unconscious, roll in the dust, weep and cry. Okay, regain consciousness. So we arrived at Harihara Chatra, also called Mahabaranasi.
Varanasi.
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 I see. It's situated on the bank of the Gandaki River, on the eastern side of the Alakananda. So here there's an ancient deity, which is the combined form of Sri Hari and Hara. In one deity form, Vishnu and Shiva are both manifest. Gurudev explains really nice information, some tattva about how Shiva is actually Vishnu as Sada Shiva, but he accepts a portion of the material energy to fulfill the desires of the jivas and also destroy the material world and bewilder those who are unfavorable to Krishna, and at the same time bestow mercy and guidance to those who are favorable to Krishna. And something really interesting and nice, it said in Varanasi that when someone leaves their body, Lord Shiva whispers in their ear the holy name of Lord Ram, and they become delivered. And so Gurudev explains here that in this place, if a living entity dies, Shambhu chants Sri Gora in their ear, and they get delivered from this material world. And so he's Sada Shiva, and he's also Vaishnavam Yata Shambhu. He's at the same time, he's very, very dear to the Lord. And many demons like Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Meghanada, Kamsa, Jarasandha, and Bhaumasura, they're envious of Sri Hari, and they worship Shankar for the desire to get material boons, to get benedictions, mystic powers, so many things. So we see this in the histories.
And then he gives them boons.
He does. He's Asutosh. He's easily pleased and also easily angered.
Why would he do that?
Because my speculation is that it's the Lord's desire to do Leela. Like, for example, many of these demons, the Lord actually wanted to fight with. He wanted to taste his Vira Ras. And actually Gurudev mentions later on that one of the symptoms that shows that Shankar is Vaishnavam Yata Shambho, the topmost Vaishnava, is that he's willing to take unpleasant services.
Yeah, and also there's always a loophole in the benediction.
Mm. Right.
That's described
Like this
in
one.
Shiva Tattva. Yeah. Means it, what is a loophole? How would you say a loophole? There's always something goes wrong with it. Hmm? True. Yeah,
It's like
so
there's
that
a
way
trick.
Krishna can kill them.
Okay, and Gurudev says the real nature of Lord Shiva is very mysterious. I'm going to play Jax a little. When Sri Ramchandra established Rameshwar, a deity of Shiva, everyone present acknowledged Rameshwar to mean Ramasya Ishwara, or Shiva is the Lord, Ishwara of Ram. The demigods opposed this and thought, and though the compound Ramasya Asho Ishwara, they derived another meaning. Ram and Shankar are both the Lord, Ishwara. These explanations distressed Shankar, who personally spoke from the Shiva Linga. Neither explanation is correct. Through the grammatical compound Rama Yasya Ishwar Se Rameshwar, the meaning of Rameshwar becomes Rameshwar is he whose Lord is Ram. Thus, Sri Krishna is established as the sole Lord of all lords, and Shankar as his precious
Who
servant,
said that? That,
Shiva himself,
how?
from the Shiva Linga.
Oh,
Lord Ram established this deity named Rameshwar. And so then the first translation or understanding of this name is that Shiva is the Lord of Ram. But then the demigods pose that no, actually this means that Ram and Shiva are both the Lord. But Shiva said this is not the full meaning, so he spoke directly from Shiva Linga that actually this means that Ram is my Lord. And then I think at the end, under the, I forget what it is, the annotations, Gurudev explains that there's some more meaning behind Rameshwar, but he doesn't allude directly to it. Okay. And so then Gurudev goes on to explain that Vaishnavas acknowledge Lord Shankar as very dear to the Lord and the spiritual master of the Vaishnavas, and therefore they totally respect and honor him. And he is also Kshetrapal. He protects Bhagavan's holy abodes, and the most worshipable form of Lord Shiva for the Vaishnavas is Gopeshwar Mahadev in his original form as Gopi in Vrindavan, as we heard elaborately yesterday. Yeah, and so he's famous as Sri Gopeshwar, and he bestows Krishna prema upon qualified living entities, and thus gives them entrance
more
into
gently.
Vrindavan.
better jacks. We need better jacks.
I know. Actually, can I ask you a question about this?
Yeah, but first I want to mention that you said it, but very briefly.
Yeah.
That he carries out the Lord's orders to him that are very unpleasant. He doesn't complain, have to do these horrible things. I don't want to, and Krishna's not good to give me these horrible orders, like destroying the universe, killing everybody in the universe. But he doesn't really kill the jiva, he just destroys the bodies. Like when you're husking rice, you leave the rice, be in it. You leave the rice, and then the empty husk you throw away, you burn it. Otherwise the rice husk will get a lot of insects and maggots and rot. So you burn that. So he left the jivas, but he burnt the whole universe. Another thing he did that he didn't like, but because it was Krishna's order, was that he became Sankaracharya and preached, why are you worshiping Krishna? You're God. So stay away and just worship yourself. That way the troublemakers wouldn't enter the bhakti arena and bother everybody. Then?
Yeah, one more example that Gurudev gives is when they were churning the ocean of the milk and the poison came out, he also accepted this desire and consumed the poison. Okay. And so
What kind of poison was it? It was a little drop of poison?
it was hala hala. It was the most extreme, intense, deadly poison ever known. And it was rapidly going all over the universe to destroy people. And Lord Shiva, he condensed it all into the palm of his hand, and he drank the poison, but he kept it in his throat because he knows that his Lord is in his heart, and he didn't want to burn him. So he's very worshipped as Nilakanta, blue throat, because this poison was sitting in his throat. So this is a very compassionate, worshipable act of Lord Shiva.
Good.
Okay, so Gurudev says, by always observing Bhagavan's desire, Shankar serves the Lord's innermost desire. Okay. And also here's a picture of the Hara Hara Chatra temple. And the deity.
Where we are right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's by Lakshmi and Parvati. He's by Lakshmi and Parvati.
Lakshmi is on Vishnu's side and Parvati's on
Yeah,
Shiva's side.
it's interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take the dust from this place and carry on our journey. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, arriving at Sri Nrsimhapali. Offer our dandavats to this place.
You don't have to
Invitation.
look down when you say that. You would know that information. Look up most you can.
Take the dust of this place on our head, heart, eyes, and tongue. So Nrsimhapali is a very famous place that during Satya Yuga, Sri Nrsimha Bhagavan came here to take rest. I've also heard it been described that he washed his nails in the pond here. Is this an accurate thing?
Well, he washed his nail. He washed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He washed the blood off.
That's what I was wondering, because Gurudev says he took rest.
Oh, and there's a pond here.
I've heard it too, but
Yeah, that he washed.
I hadn't actually read it, so I wanted to confirm.
That's what we heard when we went there.
So he came here after he
And
killed
here's
the
where
demon.
He washed.
Yeah.
And here he is. He's so old. He was here since Satya Yuga. Yeah.
So he came here after he killed the demon Hiranyakashipu. After Hiranyakashipu was tyrannizing his son Prahlad, he protected his devotee. And this place is actually a significant place as it is before Nrsimhadev came here. It's on the bank of the holy Mandakini River, and many demigods were dwelling on this river for a long time, including Lord Brahma, Indradev, Suryadev, Ganesh, and Vishwakarma. They built their residences along this sacred river. But since it's so long ago, the river has moved in time, where the temples that they built, they're no longer there. Yeah. And here, Gurudev says that they're still there, worshipping Nrsimhadev and Nrsimhapali. And so Gurudev goes on to give a beautiful summary narration of the whole pastime of Nrsimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj. But before he does that, he speaks a little bit about how Sriman Mahaprabhu used to actually come through this place and do his Sankirtan party. And he also mentions, which we didn't touch on, which I wanted to, is that the devotional limb of Godrum is Kirtan. And also the hidden aspect of Vrindavan there at Godrum is Nandagaon.
Hmm.
And so here Gurudev touches upon how Sriman Mahaprabhu is relishing some of the moods in relationship to Krishna's cowherd pastimes. Especially he mentions how when Krishna's returning from the pasture grounds with all
Can
the
we
cows
sing
and
that,
all that.
Miss Hanti? My Gaur has returned home. Huh?
Both.
Because they mentioned that song here,
Mhm.
that Gaur has returned home. What page is it on? In this,
172.
Does anybody know it? No, it's about Lord Chaitanya coming home
That
after
would be
doing his
Loharuda.
Sankirtan pastimes, home to his mother. What page are you on? Does it have a special tune? Yeah. Hmm? So should we not do it until we get the special tune? All right, let's do that. Yeah. They come back and they just dance wildly. By the way, for anybody who's on live stream, all the devotees here were dancing wildly, singing this kirtan. Which means, after roaming throughout the town and villages, my Gaur has come back home. Gaur has come back home. And my Nitai has come back home. After delivering the sinful and the suffering, Gaur has come back home. After delivering the sinful and the suffering, Nitai has come back home. After distributing Nama Prem, Gaur has come back home. After distributing Nama Prem, Nitai has come back home. Brushing off the dust from his body, Mother Sachi takes Gaura upon her lap. Brushing off the dust from his body, Mother Padmavati takes Nitai upon her lap. Beautiful. Okay, so you want to bring it to some conclusion here?
Sure. Can I read Gurudev's narration of what Mahaprabhu is relishing? Or no?
What?
Like,
What, he remembered the pastimes of Krishna returning?
yeah.
Yeah, only if you look up most of the time.
Okay.
And you sound very dramatic and loud.
Okay. While performing Sankirtan, Shriman Mahaprabhu and his associates came to this place, that's still Nishingapali, which was considered to be the border of Sri Navadvip Dham. In the evening, they returned to Sridham Mayapur, passing through Harihara, Chatra, Brahmana Pushkarini, Suvarna Bihar, and other places. The forests and gardens here were replete with rivers, streams, mango groves, small villages, and various birds and animals like deer, blue cows, and cuckoos. Absorbed in ecstasy, Shri Gaur and Nityananda Prabhu sang and danced as they returned to Mayapur with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar, Mukunda, Srivas Pandit, and other associates. People from every village received them as they passed by and participated in their chanting and dancing. Shriman Mahaprabhu would remember the pastimes of Sri Krishna returning to the village from the forest where he was grazing the cows. The flute in full splendor seated on his lips, a yellow cloth decorating his bluish-black limbs like a permanent lightning flash, shimmering against a new monsoon cloud, and a Vaijayanti mala, a garland of 5 kinds of flowers, extending down to his feet. The cowherd boys sang Kanai's glories, while millions of mooing cows surrounded him, taking Krishna to be a bluish-black cloud and the sound of his flute to be thunder. The peacocks became intoxicated. They spread their tail feathers and began to dance. The cuckoos singing, "Coo-hoo, coo-hoo," sounded as if they were welcoming Krishna. The gopis, hiding in the groves on both sides of the path, on the roofs of high buildings, and behind the latticed windows of the residential quarters, worshipped Sri Shamasundar through their crooked sidelong glances. Suddenly, an old lady said to her newly married daughter-in-law, "Stay in the house. If you go out, this black Krishna snake will certainly bite you. You will not get free from the poison it injects for the rest of your life." The simple-hearted gopi responded, "Why don't you forbid your own daughter to go? And why are you going yourself? I shall certainly go." And we know Gurudeva has explained that she did get bit. The calf ran out of the pack. Krishna followed the calf to the door where she was peeking out to look at Krishna. And Krishna walked right in where she was, and he took his flute and put it to her chin, and he ran off. And then after that, she was totally mad. She would try and go get water out from the well, but instead of putting her basket on the hook, she would put her baby in the basket and bring her down, drop her down into the well. So like that, prophecy came true. Someone caught her. Okay. Shriman Mahaprabhu was thus absorbed in the mood of Srimati Radhika, taking direct darshan of Shamasundar Krishna. With great difficulty, Mahaprabhu's associates tried to bring him back to consciousness, and when they eventually did, he burst into tears. At that time, Gadadhar Pandit sang this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam in a sweet, melodic voice. Barhabitam anatavadabapu karnaya karnikaram bibradvasa kanaka kapisam vaijayantam chamalam ranjam venoradara sudaya parayana gopavrindar vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravisagita kirti. Shama Sundar is entering the forest of Vrindavan, accompanied by his cowherd boyfriends. In his turban there is a peacock feather, over his ears a karnikar flower, on his body a yellow cloth glittering like gold, and around his neck, extending down to his knees, is a heart-stealing garland, strung with 5 kinds of fragrant forest flowers. He is dressed like an expert dancer on a stage, and the nectar of his lips flows through the holes of his flute. Singing his glories, the cowherd boys follow behind him. Already more charming than Vaikuntha, Vrindavan Dham, marked with the impressions of Sri Krishna's lotus feet, which are decorated with the conch disc and other symbols, has become even more beautiful. Hearing these verses, everyone became immersed in ecstasy. Nityananda Prabhu in it. Oh, okay, you want this one? Ivara Kantim Dudandanam Badhavatam Namsa Priyam Shivan Sankam. You do it.
Pitambaram Sundaram Gopinam Nayanotpalarchitatanam Go Basangavritai Govindam Kalavenuvadanapadam Divyanga Bhusham Bhaje.
I worship Govinda, whose complexion is the color of a blossoming blue lotus flower. His face is like the moon, and he is fond of wearing a peacock feather in his crown. His chest bears the mark of Srivats and is adorned with the Kastuba gem. He wears beautiful yellow garments, and his handsome form is worshipped by the gopis' sidelong glances. His companions are multitudes of cows and cowherd boys. He plays sweet melodies on the flute, and his body is decorated with glittering ornaments. Hearing these verses, everyone became immersed in ecstasy. Nityananda Prabhu and his sakas blissfully accompanied Shriman Mahaprabhu, who then entered the mood of Kanai. They all arrived at the house of Sachimata, who then performed arti to the devotees. Taking Gaura and Nityananda on her lap, she wiped the dust from their bodies with the end of her sari.
Gadadhar Pandit sang this verse, Badahabhitam. And the other one's from Padyavali.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that was fantastic. So, we're back home. We're back home with Gaur at his house and Nitai at his house.
Yeah.
That's a very good question. And what is the answer? Because just because we have Friday night kirtan doesn't mean we're not going to do Harinam. So, Prez, you have an answer? That's very quick.